Innovative businesses see every day as an opportunity to create something new. Dell Technologies advisors are here with tools and expertise to help you do incredible things. Because Dell Technologies believes there's an innovator in all of us. Learn more about smart PCs powered by the Intel vPro platform that's built for business. Find tech that's right for you by calling a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Hey, 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 yes, we're back, we're black, we're ambition, 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 and my voice is back. We're back in the studio, Mandi.
Hi,
how do you feel?
I feel so happy to actually have a regular voice again. I'm sure y'all are y'all were sick and tired of listening to me be sick and tired. So it's so good to see you again. I had to ride solo last week. It was sad.
It's I honestly I was still in Kenya. Which let me tell you something, Mandi. Let me tell you something.
Okay.
I went to Kenya and the girls were going up for Brown Ambition. The Kenyan girls in Kenya.
What?
They were like, tell Mandi. I'm terrible with accents. I love her. I was like, in Kenya. I'm sorry for stupid. Yes. Can you imagine?
Do a Kenya tour?
Yeah. When I tell you, I couldn't believe, not one, not two, I couldn't believe how many women were like, oh my God, I love you, Budgetnista. I listen to Brown Ambition all the time. I'm like, and I'm thinking like, oh, you're here on the trip with us. You live in the US, but you just happen to be Kenyan. They're like, no, I live in Kenya. I'm like, wait, you listen to Brown Ambition here on the motherland in Kenya? They were like, yes, I love it. I couldn't, honestly. I said, wait till I tell Mandi. So shout out to you, Kenyan women. We love you.
Kenya is popping. Like a lot of people are talking about Nairobi, and it's just like having this whole renaissance and like such a great place to live. Is that where you were?
Yeah, so I was in Nairobi and also I flew to, we flew to the coast. So I went on this trip called the Safe Journey Retreat. That's done by Ijoma Kola. She is Nigerian. We actually grew up together. And her husband is Kenyan. And so she moved to Kenya after marrying him. They now live back in the States, but she went, loved it, was like, the girls have to come out here. So she has this Black woman retreat. This was their first one. And she asked me to speak. There's maybe like 4 or 5 other speakers. And but when I tell you the sisterhood, it was the perfect way to start the new year, because I was there from the 1st to the 10th, so 10 days. And to be surrounded by amazing, kind, loving, funny, multifaceted Black women. So EJ herself is a PhD. So she also has this Black woman PhD community group that she started. So many of the women there were also PhDs. So these brilliant, but then, Black women, brilliant, but also like, girl, let me tell you something. It was, when I tell you everything, and then Kenya itself was, most places I go and I'm like, that was great, but I'm going to go someplace else because, time is money. But Kenya, I would go back again, so much so I would go back again this year, because Nairobi was amazing. All the hotels we stayed in were amazing. We got to go to the museum. We did a safari, which was out of this world. And then we flew into Kenya to the coast. I think it started with the M, Malani. I'm saying it wrong. But that hotel, it looked like I don't even know, like a Moroccan castle, and it was right on the beach. It was just, every turn was so beautiful. I just, honestly, not even a 10 out of 10, a 20 out of 10. It restored, it rejuvenated. It just did all the things that I needed and more, because the holiday season, if I'm being honest, was really, really hard for me this holiday season. It really hit me that Jarrell wasn't here, and it took me out. Like I was like, dark room, laying in the bed, could barely get up, didn't want to shower, didn't want to brush my teeth. And I didn't even want to go to Kenya, honestly. Like I didn't pack until like the day before, and I dragged myself to the airport, and it poured back into me everything I needed and more. And so like, if she ever has that retreat again, I recommend it times 1,000, not just for the women, but also for Kenya. Oh, yeah. I don't know what I would have done, honestly, because it really took me out. So yeah, I'm just so grateful, but I'm so happy to be back. And yes, the Kenyan women go up for Brown Ambition.
That's my brother's hope, is that we're going to get my little brother. He's like, you, me, dad, we're going to make a trip he wants to do Kenya or South Africa. I was like 2024, because
I got
the baby is coming.
The baby is coming. Yeah, I just heard his little heartbeat this morning. He's in there kicking on my bladder. Let me know he's there. Yeah, I'm very excited. Yeah, I am. I had lunch with a friend. Remember we talked about for like our New Year's episode, we were talking about our intentions for the new year. And I think one of the themes that really resonated was the sense of making time to reconnect. Yes. So like you and me, we need some time.
Yes.
And then I saw one of my oldest girlfriends who I hadn't seen since August, which is a damn shame. We used to like, when we worked together in your 20s, we were just like a cubicle away and we were in each other's business. I knew everything. I knew what she ate for breakfast. I knew how she was feeling about the weather, like everything. And now I just found out she had shingles. She had a whole illness. Yeah. Well, we were catching up and like she had COVID and then shingles. And I'm like, yeah, I had the flu and bronchitis and other stuff was happening, new jobs and stuff. But it was so lovely. And I got to go to the city and it felt really good to start reconnecting with just new friends and not new friends, old friends in 2023. And I'm trying to get it all done, before May, because I got this ticking clock. And we planned, we're planning like a little baby moon, which will be our first time traveling anywhere since 2019. Like it's pretty sad, but we're going to Costa Rica.
Ooh.
I'm very excited.
I love Costa Rica. It's very beautiful and lush.
I just want nature and quiet. And I feel a tiny twinge of guilt that Rio's going to miss out, but like, it'll be okay. He's going to be fine. He'll see the sloths another time,
Plus he's still really young. Because how old is Rio?
He's 3.
Yeah. So it's like the kind of vacation that he might remember like a general thing, but not the specific things anyway. So it's like, give you one more year before you're like, I remember. Yeah.
I could hardly take 2 hours on a plane to Atlanta. I don't know how I would do 5.5.
I know.
Oh my God. But I saw some I wanted to kind of, we used to do Buzzworthy back in the day.
Yes.
I wondered if we can bring back Brown Ambition Buzz. I was like, the BA Buzz. Let's call it the BA Buzz.
Ooh, I like
because
that.
There's a lot that's been going on.
Yes.
First, we have to talk about this. Have you seen, and happy MLK Day, everybody. We were recording on Tuesday. It was yesterday. But have you seen the statue in Boston? The new sculpture.
I saw the picture it was based off of, but I was like, that's not what it's giving.
Well, I hate myself because I'm one of those people who I want to appreciate artists, their work and all the time and all that. But my husband, I didn't really know there was a new statue that was going to be unveiled. But my husband just puts his phone in front of my face and he's like, what do you think that is? And we were potty training Rio this weekend, and all I can think of is that gold turd? Like, what am I looking at here? It was so, and then I felt so horrible when I learned what it was. But yeah, that thing, it's causing a lot of controversy.
Because I
think it looks like a sexual act.
Yes. I just,
the hands are beautiful.
Because I'm just like, how many people did that have to go through for it to be made? And no one said.
That's exactly what our producer Mandi said.
Girl, exactly no one said pick somebody else. This ain't it. Pick somebody else.
The sketches. Maybe they had to make a little mini sculpture.
Of course they did.
Yeah. I mean, what do you do now? You can't. There's no return policy on this massive.
It's just phallic symbol. Child, you was thinking.
Maybe you need to see it. Maybe you need to see it in person. From the right angle. But why just the arms and the hands?
I don't know.
Why no torsos or there were heads?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be really awkward to be an MLK descendant.
I know. They probably were like, okay. Thank you.
Oh boy. So we want to know y'all's thoughts on the new MLK statue. Yes. I want to be the kind of person who can find beauty in anything. And I just feel bad for the artist because God, he put his whole life on hold for that. Girl. And art is in the eye of the beholder, or whatever they say. Some good news though. So inflation it's gotten so bad, the cost of groceries and especially eating out. We can't even look at DoorDash or Uber Eats without spending $75, it feels like, on just a regular meal. So I even took my butt to Costco and I was like, we're going to be buying in bulk. It's a new day. It's a new life. I'm feeling good. Oh, well, good news is that apparently customers, consumers, we have been changing our shopping habits. Finally, it's gotten too expensive. And businesses are finally okay, we're going to slow down the price hikes and in some cases either going back on them. But it seems like most businesses, according to the Wall Street Journal, are just ceasing, additional price hikes. So hopefully a carton of eggs ain't gonna cost $12 anymore.
Well, we ain't eat eggs around here. That's what that means. We ain't eating them eggs. Like, we're gonna have chicks in the back, like, girl, produce.
That's what I'm saying. How much could it cost to have a chicken? I felt so bad. We went to Enrique's, my husband's mom's for, I don't know, like lunch the other day. And Rio loves making eggs. He's not always interested in eating them. And she got the fancy, the cage-free, organic. Oh. And he made her make 4 of them joints. No. And he did not eat a single egg. And I was like, Myra, do you need $20? Like, I'll pay you back for these eggs.
Rio was like, he's one of these fancy kids. He was like, sprinkle some gold dust on it.
I was like, Myra, get one of the, the blue styrofoam eggs.
Girl.
Like, the cheap ones. I was like, get some of them for him to play with next time.
Yes.
Oh, God. Oh, and then I caught a little bit of the Golden Globes just because randomly someone was like tweeting about it. But Black people, this award season in Hollywood,
we racked up.
Cleaning up. Have any speeches or any wins touched your heart?
What, I didn't see, I'm so glad for Quinta. Quinta is really like slaying. I love that. And I love, because, I remember Quinta from, he got money from her Vines. And
from Vine.
Like, what? I can get butter on my popcorn. He got money. Yo, I remember her from that. So I just love to see this for her. Of course, who does not love the incomparable Sheryl Lee Ralph, because she is fabulous.
Yes. I was sad she didn't win the Golden Globe because we didn't get a Sheryl Lee Ralph speech. But then she won something else. Like it was Critics' Choice Award.
Yes.
Have you seen that clip that's going viral?
With the one about the Kim Kardashian?
No. Oh, that one too. But no, that was Golden Globes. No, this one, she's like giving the speech and she's like, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about you. We should just play a clip because I'm not going to do her justice at all. But basically, it's like, you better love what you see in the mirror. It doesn't matter what anyone else, thinks about you. Is really moving. She's the best.
Yeah, no, I love that. Honestly, I just love to see that people are getting, that people are getting appreciated while they're still here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just love to see that. I mean, because Sheryl Lee, she's been an icon. From Dreamgirls to, I think she won like Miss Jamaica to Moesha's stepmama. She been out here, okay? Yeah, so she ain't new to this. She's true to this. So it's nice for the bigger, the Black world, we knew. We were like, girl, not Sheryl, right? But, sorry, Miss Lee Ralph, because, you're grown. But you know what I mean? But I love when people kind of get a chance to cross over. And
become household names.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If that's what you're wanting. You know what I mean? Because not everybody's wanting that, but if that's what you're wanting. And so I'm loving that she's getting kind of like this turn to be seen and appreciated. So I love that.
And the girls are loving, what's his name? Tyler James Williams, the guy who plays Mr. Eddie on Abbott.
Yes.
Do you like Abbott? I love Abbott.
I don't watch TV. So.
Wait.
I know. You know what? You don't even shame me.
We don't stream, Tiffany?
I know. I don't.
Don't tell me you're reading books.
No, I've been doing a lot of walking. Because I got out of the habit of watching TV when I started The Budgetnista, because who had time? And then it's hard for me to get back in the habit because I get so bored so easily. So I'll watch little clips here and there. So like, don't shame me, but I'm actually like tonight, I told myself, I'm taking myself out on a date, me, myself, and I, the 3 of us, and we're going to go see Black Panther. I haven't seen it. Don't tell nobody. Oh, you haven't seen it hard.
No, I haven't. Because when we need like a whole babysitter to see it.
Yes.
And then the times are always so inconvenient for babysitter hours. Yeah. So I'm going to go. I'm waiting for it to come on streaming. I gave up.
I said I was gonna, but I said, you know what, Tiffany? Go outside. Girl. I said, I'm gonna go outside. I said, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna treat myself to one of the dine-in theaters. Girl, we gonna be fancy up in there.
Ooh, I love those.
Girl, so if you see me out and about and you're like, ooh, she with? I see 2 other people. It's myself and I.
Well, damn it. So I'm gonna have to cross off Below Deck discussion from my list of buzzworthy because I've been obsessed with Below Deck, y'all. It's so messy and delicious. All right. In employment news. Well, one thing I just wanted to I had a coaching session. I sometimes, this is off the record, but except for you guys, when women are let go from their jobs, and if I've ever given you a coaching session, if you reach out to me, I'm probably going to offer a pro bono coaching session if you've been let go. And so I met this young woman earlier today, and she had been let go from a big tech company. I'm not going to put her business out there. And like, you know, thousands of people were let go from this tech company. And she was so down. I mean, obviously it sucks because these layoffs have been happening, you know, right around the holidays. And it really broke my heart because she's the third woman who I've met who was let go the same year that they made the change to that new job. And the sense of like, when it's hard enough to take a career risk, right? And to move new jobs and all of that. And sometimes we forget, like, there's this element of shame to being let go. And then you have this fear that if people you used to work with find out, that they're going to be judgmental about it. Like, oh, you thought you were all, you know, cool because you got a job at this big tech company. And to hear her, I mean, she was getting emotional about it, you know, because I was suggesting that she posts on LinkedIn and announces that she's open to work and all of that. But there was this, like, she really didn't want to do it. And she's just in the thick of that job search. And so it just reminded me that all these statistics about like layoffs, and even though the job market is still strong, there are people suffering from like long-term unemployment and long-term job searching out there. And so I just want to like acknowledge that and say, you know, if you're feeling shame about it, I really hope that you can be compassionate for yourself. You're so not alone. And I feel like there's so much, I was trying to tell her there's more to be gained by telling that story and sharing it, I believe, than any potential downside of maybe someone passing a judgmental, you know, thought about you. Because I feel like if you don't share it or talk about it sometimes, how do you then open yourself up to the help and support of other people? So that was on my spirit today.
Maybe I could just saving lives.
I don't know if I saved her life in half an hour, but I made her cry.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, there's just like, sometimes you just need that person to like, you know, pour into you, encourage you. And so I love that you did that for her.
Yeah, please. I mean, I'm coming from the person who quit a job, didn't take a job, came back 6 months later begging for the same job, got the job, got a new job, and quit a month later, and then got laid off from that job that she quit for. That's my story, okay? So don't talk to, like, I've been there, I've taken the risks, I've fallen on my ass, and I'm like, it's okay, you know? It's okay. All right, and our last little news nugget is that, have you heard, you know what non-competes are? You probably do, because you probably have. Yeah. We do. So the FTC, yeah, and like non-competes for employees, they can really stop you from being able to work for other big places or like, you know, navigate your career strategically, because your company may have a non-compete saying you can't work for any other firm that's like ours. And if you do, you know, really specific work, that could limit your opportunities. So the FTC, good news, the FTC is like pushing to ban non-competes, and employers are losing their damn minds.
Well, like, here's my take. I mean, I can see, like, not if you're not working for me anymore, okay, but I don't want someone who is simultaneously, because sometimes people have side hustles, which I encourage, but don't side hustle with, like, although I'm not gonna say I have a competitor or whatever, you know what I mean? So, because that's not really, but you know what I mean? Because there are definitely some points where I'm just like, yeah. Peers. So I wouldn't want someone working with me and then also working with someone, you know what, that's actually true. For example, Tracy, my publicist, came to me and said, hey, Tiffany, I've got this potential client. She reached out to me, wants to work with me. But she asked, would this compete with your client, the Budgetnista? And I was like, probably not, because Tracy has worked with other financial brands before. But then when she described the woman, I was like, actually, that is what I do. You know, because, for example, she's worked with people who only talk about investing. No problem. Because I might cover it lightly, but I'm not the investinista. You know, I'm more of if I'm going to be on TV or whatever, as far as a publicist is concerned, I'm a generalist. People have me come on, a little bit of credit, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know? And so if someone is highly specialized in a thing, then no, that's not a compete, even if it's personal finance, you know? Or like, let's just say, for example, she worked with Tanya from, I forget what it was called before, but she has like a kids app, a kids and money app. I forget. It was called something else before, but it has a new name now. Anyway, Tanya Vancourt. She's got this awesome app that helps kids like save money and put money away, whatever. So even though Tanya has financial education, but it's she's specifically for kids and the specific apps, no problem. But like I said, this other person was really kind of like a generalist. And after when she was describing it, because I told her, I said, you have to think to yourself, if you're going to pitch her, how are you pitching her? is it for a specific thing, or is it for she can do what Tiffany does basically? And so we both talked about it. And I was like, I'm glad that woman, had the wherewithal, was like, think about it before we move forward. And I was just like, oh yeah, no.
Yeah, because to her credit, like she also would want a publicist who can focus on her pitching her.
Yes.
And Tracy, I mean, not only is she your publisher, she's also your sister. And I'm like,
yes,
she's going to say the juicy bits for Tiff.
Girl, I know, but she hates when I say it. She's like, because I'm a real publicist, people just think that. I'm like, I know, girl, whatever. But because you're right. Because here's the thing, if I'm being honest, if she's going to pitch, who is she pitching? Like if they're pitching the both of us, not to flex, but I've been doing it longer. So to today's show is gonna be like Tiffany that we just had on a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Tiffany. You know what I mean? It wouldn't actually be fair to her because if she's going to pitch, So yeah. So I just thought that was really, like that. I'm not opposed to non-competes if it's like you are currently working with me. I don't think that you should be working with someone who does the exact same thing. But if you're not currently working with me, then, girl, that's your business,
Right. But it's about that like trade secret. I mean, how can you stop people from sharing what they learned at a Facebook with a Snapchat, if they go?
You can't.
Yeah. So it's all that. So I was like, I wonder what, because that's like the golden handcuffs a little bit. That's why they give you like sweet equity and stuff. And then they have the non-compete, which is like this like carrot and the stick a little bit. That's the stick.
Yes.
Like, if you leave us, we're going to come for you. And you have seen people get sued, and lost their jobs because they got a new job. And then they're like, oh, we don't want to go against that big corporation.
Yeah.
It's a fight for you.
I think there should be some moderation with it because I can understand as a company, because I had somebody on my team that was doing that. Secretly working for like someone who did the exact same thing and feeding them everything we were doing. But what she didn't know is sauce sold separately. So, because honestly, the sauce is sold separately. So when I found out, I let them go and I was like, well, that's not cool. But when I saw how it was looking on the new person, I was like, that's what she gave you? Okay, girl. It's not looking the same, sis, because it's a different, it navigates differently on other people. But I just didn't like that, kind of like secret backyard dealing, because sometimes we're working through things. So you're bringing it to someone else. I just was like, oh no, girl, you can't stay here. So, I definitely have seen it both ways.
So you're the sauce, just to be clear. Sold separately. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's it for the BA Buzz. BA Buzz. I
love that BA
I'm really getting back to my, set my 12-year-old run the school paper roots here. Oh God. All right. Let's take a quick break and come back with Brown Boost Brown Break.
And we're back.
Okay.
And we're black. Time for boost the break. Okay. Oh, I forgot the song already.
I thought you were bringing us into a new year with a new beat.
Girl, I forgot the song. Are we gonna boost? I was talking about, are we gonna break? Right? Look at me, right? Oh, okay. Boost or break or boost or break. Are we gonna boost? Are we gonna break? Which one are you gonna take? Girl, I don't remember. Either way, we boost in, we break in. You wanna go first, second, manager? How you feeling?
I want you to go first, but I got my boost.
Okay, I have a boost too. So one of the things we did in Kenya that was so transformative for me, because the whole trip was amazing, is that we did a service project at this place called Wings for Hope. I think that's what it's called. Yes, Wings for Hope, and it was a shelter of some sort, but like a compound. It was like a series of buildings for young teen moms. Some of the girls were as young as 12 years old and pregnant. All of them obviously had been taken advantage of. Because, you can't be 12 and consenting to whom, But honestly, most of them had been, all of them had been kind of disowned or thrown away by their family as a result of the pregnancy. And some of them were even, taken advantage of. And this is just, you might want to fast forward if this is going to be triggering. I should have had a trigger warning. But had been taken advantage of by their own fathers and were carrying their father's babies. It was really heavy. And I was just like, 11, 12, 13, and so when I was there, we were all fighting tears because it just was so heavy. And the angels that run, it's a husband and wife, they met while kind of doing the work. The wife was a nurse, and she said that babies would come into the hospital that had been found thrown away. in trash bags, hidden in bushes. Yeah. And she was like, where are
this now?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, Mandi. Yes. And she just was like, where?
It's okay.
But where are these babies coming from? And so as they started to, like, the husband was volunteering at the hospital. Well, it was at the time, it was just a guy, like volunteering at the hospital. And she after doing more research, she found out that it was these young teen girls that were doing this. That the large majority of these babies that were coming to the hospital were as a result of these young girls who were like, I don't know what to do. I'm 12. So she said, which I think is so beautiful, how do we solve the issue? It's not just like taking care of the baby that when it gets here, can we take care of that girl? And so they created this beautiful place for the girls, Wings for Hope, where, when they find out a girl's been kind of like thrown out of her family as a result, as much as they can, they take them in here and then look after them, give them food, shelter, they get therapy, they get, education, they pay for school, they do all these things. And based upon all like donations and things. And so one of the reasons why I said Kenya was restorative is because before I left, like I said, I was drowning in the grief. And this going here, like, reminded me a lesson that Dr. Green, my amazing Black therapist, told me a few months after Jarrell passed away. And because I kept saying, this is the worst thing that could have ever happened. This is the worst thing that could have ever happened. And then one day she said, is it the worst thing, Tiffany? And I wanted to jump through the Zoom and rock and sock with her because I was like, what are you talking about? Of course it is, and so, because what she was saying was, your parents are still here, your sisters, and Roman, and Amelia, and Lily, and Brown Ambition. But at the time, I was like, anybody trying to hear all that? It is the worst thing. And so, but this sitting in this compound, with the girls and this amazing husband and wife team, it's like there was a huge perspective shift. And it wasn't trauma comparison, that instead it opened up for me to see that, like, is it the worst thing that could have happened to you, Tiffany? Meaning, like, is it just grief that you're experiencing in your life? Or is there so many things to be grateful for? And it was literally like a line in the sand of the before Tiffany and the after Tiffany. And I said to myself, like, I was talking to Dr. Green about it, like, and she was like, it was a transformation for you because you got to feel simultaneously your grief, but also acknowledge the other grief of the people in that room alongside of you without detracting or adding to the grief that you're holding. And then on the third part, I was like, what can we do to help? And so one of the best ways for anyone to kind of get out of their situation is always education. And so we were asking them, like, how much does it cost for like a year to, like, there's about maybe 20, 25 girls there because in Africa and many places, although school is free, you have to pay a school fee to go to the next level. So you take your exams. In order to get those exam grades, you have to pay a fee. And for all the girls, like 20, 25 girls, it's, there's a fee. And so it's maybe like $15,000 for the year. And I said, okay, that I'm going to pay that. And, maybe the year after and the year after and the year after. And so it was like, Dr. Green was like, I don't think you realize what you've unlocked in yourself, Tiffany, and that you can acknowledge your grief. You can acknowledge that it is part of a larger, like, grief that is in that room. And then you can, even from a place of your own sadness, say, I want to help somebody else. She was like, that's a huge transition. I hope you recognize that. And so it was just, when I say so transformative, it just felt like such a joy to be able to do that. And so I just, like I'm hoping that Wings for Hope will like start like cause they're a nonprofit in Kenya. They're not based in the United States, and hopefully they'll have like like some sort of arm here so people can donate and give. Cause so I exchanged emails with the oldest girl there. Her name is Sarah. She's in school, in college. Meanwhile, Sarah is 20. She has a 7-year-old, but to see, I could see the joy in her. And she was sharing how she tries to come back from school as much as possible to help the younger ones, because some of the younger ones are having such a hard time. They have to stop them from harming their babies sometimes because they don't know what's going on. And so but I could see the joy in her. I could see how happy her son was. And I asked her, because, sometimes you have these facilities and you're like, is it really good? Because sometimes it's worse than where they came from. And she was like, they love us so well here, Tiffany. They love us so well. I don't know what I would have done. And so, I'm just committed to like that type of service. I've lived my life in service and teaching, and even the Budgetnista is an act of service and everything. But this is more concrete for me. And so just looking for opportunities to do this, so that is, hopefully it's not a Debbie Downer for y'all, but it uplifted me so much to know that like I can participate in like helping making these like, because they look like me. They are us. These little Black girls. That's just me. Just a different circumstance or situation. And so yeah, that is my brown boost. Wings for Hope. Thank you so much for the amazing, really just amazing miracle work that you do with these beautiful girls, and and the ways I can help. And if I find more ways that I'm sure you guys are gonna be like, I want to help. When I find more ways, I will share them with you, because I just think that like, yeah, because they want to be at capacity. They want to be at 60 girls, but they can't currently afford it. They don't even have enough beds. And so we're all like kind of working together to figure out, what does that look like? How do we help so more girls are not left in the dangerous situation? They have a safe place to be.
Yeah, I think it's also a beautiful message of when you travel, just leaving the place better, like even a little bit better, than the way you found it. And even that impulse for me is to cringe and to look away from a story like that, but it doesn't stop the story from being true and those girls needing help. So I love hearing stories like that. And the spin is, okay, it's a tragedy, but then what good can come of it, and what can you do? That is beautiful. Yeah, I got to put Kenya on the list for sure. The huge list of where I need to go. All right. Well, I'll do a quick little, I'll take my bigger boost and do my quick little one, my little backup boost. I read this article in Fortune just today, and I thought it was so powerful. It's called "The Pandemic Killed My Ambition." And here's how I'm getting it back. And I thought it was I won't read the whole, I'm not gonna read the whole article, but I love it because this is the kind of conversation I'm having all the time with my Mandi moneymakers about like redefining ambition on our own terms. And where does the ambition, like where can we embrace our ambition and our want to learn more and always be growing and, developing and all that. And where does that fall with also wanting a softer life and not wanting to grind ourselves into the dust? And I'm just happy to see an article like this, and we'll post a link in the show notes, because I feel like this is it. It's really up to us how we define ambition. And I mean, for a show called Brown Ambition, what I hope is we can define it in such a way that it gives you time to reflect on what it is that you're striving for, and not just what, but why, like the why behind why you're ambitious about a certain opportunity or a certain, moving up in a certain way, and just taking time to reflect. And in personally, like when I approach 2023, I do have these big goals for Mandi Money, and I feel this ticking clock of there's a baby coming, and I got a lot of shit to do before I go on maternity leave and all of that. But these first few weeks of the new year, I have found myself just like really slowing down and trying to think thoughtfully before just rushing into things, and just trying to be intentional about what it is that I'm doing, instead of just going all in, burning myself out so that I can skate across the finish line into the labor and delivery room and be like, thank God I have a break, not a free stay at a hospital. I don't want to be like that. I want to have some energy left, for having two little ones at home. So I'll post a link to that. But if you're struggling with that, I feel like if you're struggling with the idea of how can I be ambitious, but still want that softer life, I think this is a great article to read, and then start redefining that for yourself.
I love that. I feel like that's the space I would say, I was telling the girls at in Kenya, the other retreat members, I said, I'm in my Sade era right about now. Like I used to be in my Beyonce era. So, Beyonce was like, girl, I'm trying to be an icon. Whatever it takes, girl, the grind, the work, I'm like, we off that. From me anyway. Yeah. So I'm in my Sade era. So if you know anything about Sade, she literally comes out with an album every 7 to 15 years. Like she literally would be like, here's a little something. Go about your business. And then she will go back to wherever she's living her best life. Because Sade is 60, but skin glowing. She just looks beautiful. She looks well rested, like she minds her business and drinks water. And so that's the space that I'm in now. That I don't have the desire to be ambitious anymore in the traditional sense, because even though Sade is not out there doing all the interviews and whatever, I suspect she's still making music for music's sake, meaning I'm still doing beautiful work and, but I don't have this necessity to be externally gratified by it anymore. I'm just tired. And I don't have the desire to go as hard as I used to go. There's nothing wrong with the Beyonce era, because there's a reason why I can buy that condo cash. It's because of my Beyonce era. So certainly I'm not going to turn my nose up at somebody who is in that space right now. But even Beyonce ain't even in her Beyonce era. You know, because Beyonce is like same age as me.
Where are the visuals?
Girl, Beyonce's like, if y'all don't leave me alone, she's like, I have 50, 11 kids. You heard her in her song, I got 50, 11 kids.
Yeah.
You know, so even Beyonce has taken down the Beyonce era. And so, because there are moments, you know, I think that, many of us make the mistake of staying one place too long. And so so I love that. Honestly, I can't wait to read that because I'm like, you know, to redefine what ambition looks like.
All right. We're going to keep the show called Brown Ambition, but we're redefining it as we go. Okay, y'all? Okay. Oh, well, so good to be back with you, Tiff. Happy New Year, everybody, officially. Yes. And we'll see y'all next week. We'll see you Friday for BA Q&A.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, BA fam, we could not do this show without your support or the support of our team behind the scenes. The Brown Ambition podcast is produced by Cumulus Podcast Network. It's edited by the wonderful Imani Crosby and produced by Tanya Bustos. Dennis Stemplinsky is our in-house tech guru, and I am Mandi Woodruff Santos, your co-host, and I will see y'all next week.
Former Navy SEAL Sean Ryan shares real stories from real people from all walks of life on The Sean Ryan Show. Wealth strategist Rob Luna.
If you could solve a problem in this world better than anyone else, you're going to make a lot of money. And that's really what a business's ultimate goal is, whether it's your business or a manufacturing business. It's about solving a problem, making a bigger impact in people's lives than anyone else on scale.
I mean, I've been trying to scale my business, but I can't find somebody to conduct these interviews.
Yeah.
The Sean Ryan Show on YouTube or wherever you listen.